Bonjour YouTube, on se retrouve pour la suite des nains. Et donc du coup on se lance tout de suite à la suite de ce qu'on faisait, de suite. Enfin bref, faut que je me calme. Il faut que je me calme. Mais donc du coup on se retrouve pour la suite des nains après avoir rencontré une naine qui savait utiliser de la magie et des pouvoirs psychiques et de contrôle mental. Et donc du coup on va aller sur le petit village là-bas. Parce qu'il y a un petit village ici, mais je le sens mieux là-bas. Je le sens mieux là-bas.
Their names are Crescent and
Il
Sunbeam.
m'a fait beaucoup de présents pour se forger en mur défabriqué.
It took a long time until I found a smith who was able to make them.
C'est la voleuse qui nous dit ça?
She looks like a pointy ear too. Nature hasn't been kind to her.
For this absent-minded remark,
D'accord.
Boindale receives
Elle a
evil
de belles
looks
armes en
from
tout cas.
Nomura
Faut que j'arrête de
and
cliquer en fait.
grins from the men.
En fait là le problème c'est
Perhaps
que...
I really am an elf and will bring you a nightmare in your sleep tonight. Don't be surprised if you wake up screaming.
C'est vrai qu'elle a
For a
l'air...
moment, it seems as though she has merged with the darkness.
Alors,
but when you blink,
ça par contre c'est ça que je comprends pas. Est-ce que Albe c'est F ou est-ce que les Albes c'est un truc
Isn't
particulier?
she magnificent in her role?
there is no denying what Rodario says. The group isn't overly friendly towards Geralda, and this
en même
evening
temps, elle
she's
essaie de nous tuer.
sitting once again apart from the others. You ask yourself what you can do to break
Est-ce que
the
c'est du
ice
poison?
when you see
Ou
that
une
she
fiole
has
de
a
mana?
file in her hand.
C'est une fiole
The
de mana?
file
C'est
is
ça?
wrapped around with
Fiole de
silver
mana?
wire and has a snap lock. The liquid in it is black.
Le mana c'est bleu.
Geralda opens the lid and takes a big swig. As she puts down the bottle, a smile
De la
flits across her
drogue.
face, followed by a short
Elle prend de la
expression
drogue,
of
arrêtez
deep
là.
satisfaction.
Je ne sais pas quel âge je suis là mais...
It is the first time that you have seen
ma
a
responsabilité,
positive
tu ne
emotion on the
se drogueras
face of
point.
the sombre dwarf.
Bah... qu'est-ce que ça contient? On est curieux quand même.
Is that medicine?
C'est un médicament?
No, it's.
Ah tu sais même pas. Ah
I
bah
don't
bravo.
know either. If I don't drink it, I have a longing for it. It gets
Oui, donc c'est
stronger
bel et
and
bien de la
stronger
drogue.
until I can't stand it anymore. When I drink it, the longing disappears, and I feel rested and strong.
Mais si on t'en empêche d'en boire?
When the file's empty?
I don't know. I don't know where I
Ah,
got the
peut-être que
drink
tu deviendras
from,
folle. Oui,
let
c'est ça.
alone what it is. But if I don't drink it,
Ouais, c'est ça, on sait pas. Donc on va éviter les expériences en l'empêchant d'en
I think
boire.
I would go crazy or die.
On va pas tenter des trucs comme ça.
Geralda plays with the file, lost in her thoughts, as if she were trying to remember where she saw it for the first
C'est
time.
problématique, oui, en effet. Ce petit village, qui
The
a-t-il?
size of the fields and the farmsteads grow as you get closer to Valenciensis, the old border city in the north. The old city
Oui, donc
wall
c'est
is
un
much
gros
too
hameau.
small for the size of today's settlement. Everywhere little cottages, and even the odd magnificent estate, extend beyond the wall.
Valenciensis.
Ah, Archives
This
centrales, ça
city
nous
is
parle
home
ça,
to
les
grand
livres, la
archive.
bibliothèque.
There are countless works from all over Girdlegard here.
Ouais, bon, être gentil,
I
on me
wonder
laisser
whether
la
we'll be
voir.
allowed to go in.
On va aller aux archives
You
centrales.
try to gain access to the city, but the guards on the wall are unyielding. The orc
Oh,
armies
c'est
in
pas
the
sympa,
south
ça.
and the movement of the parish land has prompted the city council to lock
J'aurais
Valenciensis
pu apprendre
up.
peut-être beaucoup de
You
choses.
try not to show your disappointment, but Boindale looks at you curiously.
Is a house full of dusty books really
Oui,
that
mais à partir de là, tu peux apprendre des
important?
choses sur tes ennemis, sur comment les vaincre.
There are also books by dwarves and about dwarves in that archive. They've practically got everything that has ever been written. They've even got notes on the races of Girdlegard,
Les particularités
singularities and oddities
et
by M.A.
bizarreries de
A
ceci.
book about dwarves?
Ah non, c'est fait exprès, c'était écrit comme ça.
Really good at all.
You leave the impressive city of Valenciensis behind you
Oh,
and
c'est
continue on your way.
triste. C'est triste. Ah bon, on va aller sur le point d'interrogation ici, puis on va aller sur celui-là. Pa, pam, pam, pam. Pam, pam, pam.
As on the previous evening, Bavragor sits apart from the others. But tonight, he waves
Ah
you
oui,
over.
raconte-nous la suite de l'histoire.
My sister.
Il a pas réussi à la
You wanna
protéger.
know what happened, right?
You nod and sit down.
Il a pas réussi à la
She
protéger, c'est ça?
followed Boindale into battle. We tried to talk her out of it, but she was as unyielding as a
C'était une vraie
mountain.
guerrière, quoi.
Then came the day when the High Pass was attacked.
Bavrigor drinks from his liquor.
He
Ah
killed
oui,
her.
d'accord.
Blinded by the frenzy of battle, he thought she was one of the enemy. I could
Ah oui.
never forgive him.
Ah là oui, c'est
Killed
compliqué.
my sister. Could you?
You inevitably remember the loss of Lot Yonan, Frala, and her
Ah
children.
oui, c'est pour... Ah merde.
You remain sitting in silence, each of you deep in thought. Bowendahl approaches, having either heard you or guessing what you were talking about.
His fierce life forge is a curse. He thought the orcs had robbed him of his love, and the ire came over him. Sometimes he calls her name in his dreams. Oh, he'd never admit it.
Mais
But
du
he
coup,
suffers
c'est vraiment
just
lui
like
qui l'a tué.
Bavrigor. He too loved her.
The stonemason doesn't
Là,
react.
ça fait sens
So
par rapport à
you
son
and
passif.
Bowendahl go back to the others
Oh
by the
merde.
fire.
Ah, sale histoire ça. C'est une sale histoire tout ça.
You
Wackenstein.
discover some ancient ruins and an orc camp in a gorge. A small group of Bognalim is moving between tents, piles of rubbish and cages. In one of the cages, you think you can make out some movement.
Ah. On va lancer l'assaut contre le camp. Surtout que ça me dit quelque chose, je crois que c'est là qu'il y avait un passage qui nous disait qu'il y avait un passage. Donc si on arrive à libérer le camp, et qu'on peut prendre un raccourci, tant mieux. Alors évidemment le temps de chargement de l'infini. Ça c'est aussi un point négatif du jeu, c'est que ça manque d'images pendant le temps de chargement. Surtout surtout qu'ils ont des très bonnes images, des très belles images.
Over there! Quick! You'll have to smoke them out!
Oh la vache, cet accent de paysan. Du coup, bon, on va reprendre notre compagnie de nains. J'aime bien mes nains à moi. Du coup, on va équiper notre nouvelle technique. 25, ouais, ça c'est bien, ça j'aime bien. On pourrait faire ça, voilà. Comme ça, là, on est vraiment dans le côté défensif. Toi, tu vas oublier de sauter, mais tu vas apprendre comment défoncer. Et ça, c'est quoi? Alors ça peut être très bon aussi. Hop. Et toi, je t'ai mis souffle du dragon, c'est bon. Alors.
What is it?
Alors, Tungdil, tu vas prendre les bombes. Je t'ai dit quoi? Les bombes.
Grenades! Throw them into the holes. That ought to stop the little beasts.
He hardly put up a fight. And again. Kill.
Ah, il les a, c'est bon.
And again.
Hop.
Yes, yes. File.
Alors, essayons la nouvelle technique. Hop,
I'm with you. Kill.
hop,
And again. Yes, yes.
hop.
He hardly put up a fight.
Ils sont où? Il est là.
Of course. Kill. Easy. And again.
Hop.
What's up?
Mindil, t'es sur le passage.
Disgusting. Huh? Yes, yes. So, take it personally. I'm with you. He hardly put up a fight. A bit too much, was I?
Des bombes.
I didn't hit you very hard.
Allez, on va renforcer nos alliés.
Personally. On my way. Huh? As good as done. On my way. File. I just need. Kill.
Oh, pardon.
Oh, what bad luck for you! A bit too much for you. Don't rush me. Kill.
La vache, Mindil, il devient violent quand il passe en mode...
Very impressive, I must say. Let me out, my friends.
Bah oui, je vois pas de raison. Pourquoi tu me garderais? Surtout que t'as l'air d'être vraiment un paysan, quoi. Qu'est-ce que tu veux qu'on fasse de toi? Ah. Somnifère, nuage d'acide. Je me demande si ça peut exploser. J'ai envie d'essayer. On va prendre le nuage d'acide. J'ai envie de voir si c'est possible de faire exploser le nuage. Ouh, ça j'aime bien. J'aime bien l'assassinat. Fléchette brûlante. Oui, bah, écoute. façon, toi, t'as des capacités complètement pétées. Oh, prendre le sac. Quel sac?
Dried herbs.
D'accord. Je vais me faire un thé. C'est génial.
A pile of wood. Or is it actually a pyre?
Et donc il est là, allez on va lui ouvrir la cage, écoutez. Je voulais explorer un peu les endroits puisqu'on sait jamais ce qu'il peut nous réserver comme bêtises.
Oh, thank you. Have you seen Helga? Helga? Helga!
Helga, ça me dit quelque
Where
chose.
are you?
Oh putain son accent. Brrr. Du coup.
I am Tungdil Goldhand. These are my companions, Boindil, Boendal, Rodario, Fergus and Namora.
Donc là on présente toute notre
Bathagor,
compagnie.
and Goimgar.
Putain c'est long
Have
hein.
you seen Helga?
No,
No.
we haven't. If you don't mind me asking, what is your name?
Call me Ensign and drop the pleasantries.
Bah... Qui est
If
Helga?
I may, who is this Helga?
Si je peux.
Helga?
Si je peux me permettre.
Where?
I don't know. I
Putain, il est
just
complètement con.
wanted to know.
Helga is my wife. Didn't I mention that?
Non.
We came here
Justement,
together,
c'est ce que je voulais.
but then the orcs came and she was gone. Do you think she might have gone home?
C'est
Helga!
complètement con. C'est pas
You
possible.
have a dark notion of what might have happened to
Oui,
Helga.
ils ont dû la manger.
But as you have no proof, you'd rather say nothing.
If you see her, you'll let me know, right?
Donc si tu veux, écoute. Merci pour les grenades, bah oui, mais qu'est-ce que tu fais
What brings
ici?
you to these parts, Ensign? Not exactly the nicest of places.
Aren't you here for the festival?
Un
The
festival?
unbelievable Wackenstein Festival. My
Wackenstein.
wife and I desperately wanted to see it for ourselves.
Ah bah je crois que Helga ne pourra pas
The
le voir.
blind guardian, the statue over there,
Blind.
is the key. He calls people
Attendez.
from far and wide to the
Attendez.
festival. I finally found some information in the archives of Virunciensis as to how the Guardian is activated.
D'accord. Alors attendez, juste, la statue s'appelle Blind Guardian. Est-ce que ce serait pas le plus gros placement de produit au monde? Parce que ils font la musique, ils ont fait la musique de qu'on entend au début dans l'intro, etc. Et je sais pas si c'est un membre du groupe, mais c'est le nom du groupe Blind Guardian du coup. J'ai entendu dire qu'il y a un passage secret
Do
ici.
you know anything about a secret passage through the mountains?
Secret passage? No, can't say I do. But they say that when the blind guardian awakens, then people will come to the festival from all corners of the world.
Bon d'accord, et comment est-ce que tu réveilles le gardien aveugle? C'est ça qui m'intéresse moi. Dis-moi, quel est ce festival? Raconte-moi tout.
So, what have you found out about the festival, Ensign?
You see that statue? That's
Oui,
the
d'accord, on a
blind
compris.
guardian. You could call him the patron saint of Wackenstein.
D'accord.
They say that when the festival begins, then the revelers heed his call from all corners of the earth.
D'accord.
According to my research, we need 3 things to start the
Donc
festival.
selon mes recherches,
A
on a besoin de
burning
3
ox
choses.
skull,
Ouais.
the fire-eater bell, and vervain. I actually had it all, but, well, then the orcs
Putain mais il est
came.
complètement bourré quand il parle, c'est insupportable. À propos du crâne de bœuf.
It should be easy to find an ox's skull. All we have to do is find a butcher.
Oh, it can't just be any old ox skull. It needs special decorations and engravings. Took me weeks to
Bon bah
prepare
c'est ce
that
que je dois
skull.
avoir alors.
Then the orcs came and took it. Must have thought it had some value.
Is it this one here?
Stone that crows, you already have it. Excellent. That is
Quel
a good
hasard.
And what do we do with it?
Que le
Oh,
monde
that's
est
simple.
petit.
omen. The ox skull must be set on fire.
You're not sure what
Bon,
kind
bah,
of celebration needs a
Facile, il y a le
burning ox
bûcher,
skull, but the mission doesn't sound
il y a
too
Rodario qui sait
difficult.
faire des flammes, enfin bon. La cloche dévoreuse de flammes, ça
Where
par
will we
contre je l'ai
find
pas.
Fire eater bell, and what kind of a name is that anyway?
Oui surtout c'est quoi ce nom?
Virunciensis. I tracked you down to a collector who lives outside the city in an estate on the south wall.
Attendez, la ville où on était?
According to
Oh,
legend,
fais chier.
the bell was mounted in a black tower. The tower caught fire. The bell fell down and smothered the source of the fire. Now I'm sure you can work out the rest. The ringing of the bell opens the way for the blazing fire in our souls. At least that's what is written.
Très métal comme parole, mais
So
totalement
what
con
are we
comme
waiting
légende.
for? We'll visit the collector and...
It would be best if you went without me. I have some things
Pourquoi?
to prepare here.
Qu'est-ce que t'as fait? Bon bah plus tard.
See you later, Ensign.
Let me know if
Gager
you
les
say,
herbes.
Olga.
Oui, bien sûr. Pose-toi. Le crâne de bœuf, le crâne de bœuf.
All right.
Mais-y le feu, mais-y le feu. Ah d'accord, en frottant mes mains j'arrive à faire du feu, je suis métal. Jeter les herbes dans le creuset. Ok. Il y a deux. Pourquoi il faut que je fasse tout brûler par contre? C'est ça la question aussi. Oula.
Something's not quite right.
Ah, il y a un ordre dans lequel le faire. Ça, qu'est-ce que c'est?
A bracket on which you can hang something. Must be for
Ah,
the
ça
bell
doit
that
être
Henson
pour la
mentioned.
cloche. Bon bah du coup on y va, il n'y a rien d'autre à explorer, pas. Ça, mais là il n'y a rien d'autre. Il n'y a rien. On va peut-être pas se rendre à la ville tout de suite, si. Non, on va aller voir l'autre petit point d'interrogation. Je suis trop curieux. Allons à la taverne
A
d'abord.
two-story tavern sits on the corner of a crossroads. The snow around the building has been cleared away.
Une taverne, allons
and a
boire,
warm light
compagnons.
is coming from
Remplissons-nous
inside.
la panse
The
et
sign above the
festoyons.
door reads Minstrel Castle.
Minstrel Castle. That sounds promising.
On va pas rester longtemps ici, hein. Allez, entrons dans la taverne.
Finally, time for ale. My
Comment
throat
tu
is
fais pour avoir accordé tes chefs à force de boire de
completely
l'eau de vie?
parched. As much as I hate agreeing with you, I too can hardly
Bon,
wait.
peut-être qu'au moins ils
You enter
s'entendront
the
bien.
tavern with Bafragor and Boindale in front. On first impression, the interior is as inconspicuous as the outside. But when you take a closer look, you spot a couple of paintings of minstrels in front of a castle, a small stage that, judging by the dust, is only very rarely used, and a lute hanging on the wall behind the bar.
Bah d'accord, c'est un
There
petit
are
truc
not
de
very many
spectacle quoi, un
guests
petit
on the
cabaret.
ground floor, perhaps a dozen, and most of them belong to a group of mercenaries who have
Les
retreated
mercenaires,
into
je
the
ne les
far
aime
corner.
plus depuis qu'ils ont tué un nain.
You sit at a table, and after a while you are brought the ale that Boindale has ordered.
Bah on va aller au comptoir.
You go to the bar where the landlady is working and sit on a stool. The landlady, a stout, middle-aged woman with long hair,
Une
tied in a
aubergiste avec des
ponytail,
gros
looks up
muscles.
briefly, but says nothing.
Ta meilleure bière, femme. Montrez-moi ce que vous avez à vendre. Et je prends toute ta nourriture. Et ce sera tout. Et je m'en vais, parce que je m'en fous.
You nod at the landlady as you slip off the bar stool, and she nods back.
Quitte ta taverne.
Bafragor and Boindale, who are absorbed in a drinking competition, have to be practically dragged out of the tavern. But in the end, you are able to continue your journey.
Ça fait vos concours de celui qui a la plus grosse plus tard. On va d'abord aller sur ce petit village.
When you enter the strongly fortified mountain village, you see a large group of miners standing around a shaft in heated discussion.
I really saw them.
J'ai
I
vraiment
swear.
vu.
A young man in mining clothes defiantly stares at an older man who is a good head
Oula,
taller than him.
cherche pas des plus grands que toi.
Even if you did, smashing the lift hoist, it would have been better to have not sent the cage down again until we cleared this thing up.
Is there a problem?
The older man, perhaps
Il a
the
détruit
foreman,
le truc
is
qui permet de
so
descendre dans la mine,
angry
mais
that he
pourquoi il a
hardly
fait ça?
seems to have realized
Il a vu
that he's
quoi?
talking to a dwarf.
Mika here says that he saw orcs in
Ah
the
bah ça c'est
mine,
probable.
and he smashed the lift hoist to
Je ne
bits.
savais pas,
The
ils sont dans
cage
les
has crashed to
murs.
the bottom of the shaft. How are we supposed to work now?
Je vous le dis, ils sont dans les murs. S'il y a vraiment des ordres, franchement il a bien réagi, hein, tu pouvais t'attendre à tout.
I would say he did the right thing. If the orcs had managed to come up through the mine,
C'est ça.
then you all might be dead.
I heard they were just grunting, and the stench. It was unbearable.
Oh
You
t'inquiète
should
pas,
have been there. I just
J'ai
wanted
déjà
to save
rencontré
the
des-
village.
The young man and the foreman look at each other in silence for a few seconds.
Bon allez,
All right, all right. Mika might not be the sharpest tool in the box, but the boy has guts. If he says there were orcs down there, then there were orcs down there. But the problem remains, we can't work without the lift.
bah dans ce cas-là on va vous aider, allez.
Can we help you somehow?
Help? Well, we'll have to repair the hoist, and we need a new cage.
The foreman turns to a man next to him for answers. He's just as muscular, with dirty, calloused hands and an angular face.
Oh, des vrais
It will
hommes.
take at least 2 weeks, but we don't need any help, unless you can speed up time.
Oh, t'inquiète pas, on a un ingénieur.
2 at the most, if there are problems.
The foreman looks
Putain, le mec,
aghast at the technicus,
ça prend 2
unsure
semaines, moi je vous fais ça en un
whether he's
jour.
broken or not.
One day? Have you got any idea how...
Fergas is the most talented Magister Technicus in Girdlegard. And anyway, what have you got to lose?
Oui, c'est ça, laissez-nous faire.
Well, as long as he doesn't get in my way...
The worker shrugs his shoulders.
Oui, voilà, vous
Why
perdez
not?
rien. Bon, allez, on le fait gratuit, on est sympa.
Good, we'll help you. And we don't want anything in return.
Ooh, that's generous.
The foreman looks at you distrustfully. He's the sort of person who
Mais
doesn't
non,
like
tu
being
ne vois
indebted
rien,
to
je te dis.
others.
On te fait ça
Fergus
gratos.
immediately gets to work, examining the hoist. After a few moments, he sends Mika off with a list of tools and spare parts, and explains to you how to build the cage, while he takes care of the hoist's rustic mechanism. After half a day, the cage is operational again, but Fergus is still busy with the hoist. You just hear him muttering.
So far, there is no automatic brake in case the ropes snap, but it shouldn't be too hard to fit one.
Allez, vas-y. Allez, on est sympa.
Fergus decides to fit the automatic brake, but it takes more time than expected. Building the hoist from
C'est pas
scratch
grave,
would have been
on a du
simple,
temps.
but the
C'est pas
upgrade
comme si le
turns
monde
out
était en
to
train
be
d'être détruit.
complicated. In the end, it takes 2 days until the
Ah
lift
oui, ça
is
met du temps quand même,
operational
oui.
again.
Merde.
After the work is done, you report to the foreman. A huge grin spreads across the foreman's face. You have just saved him a lot of time and effort.
We can't let you leave empty-handed. Here, at least take some provisions for your journey. And if you ever need some extra brute force against the orcs,
Mais
I'm
non.
sure we can find 10 men who'd be happy to learn from you.
Découvrir
You
d'où
travel
sont...
down into the mine in the
Ouais, d'où
repaired
ils sont
lift.
venus.
Mika shows you the place where he saw the orcs, and you follow the winding gallery. After 1,000 paces, you stopped counting, and only after several hours do you reach an exit. There's
Ah.
a stench of tallow in the air. The tunnel leads directly into a huge orc camp, which blocks the path
Ah, donc ça va être
into
sûrement l'endroit
Snowdale
qui est là.
Valley. If you attacked from here, you'd have the element of surprise on your side.
I could go and take a look and perhaps improve our chances for an attack.
You remember how the actor had transformed himself
C'est vrai.
into Lot Yonin and Nudin in Mifedania? You certainly wouldn't bet
Mais
against
je
him
préfère
being
pas
able to
l'approche
walk through the
frontale.
orc camp
On va
unnoticed.
essayer le passage secret, si
I'll
ça
come
marche
with
pas,
you.
ouais.
If I stay in the shadows, they won't see me.
The actor nods gratefully.
I'll come too. I also know
Oui,
how
bon,
to keep myself
on
hidden.
va pas tous y aller non plus, hein.
Namora wants to object, but you are quicker.
Thank you, Geralda. 2 more eyes and ears would be helpful on such a mission.
Faut lui donner confiance à la petite. Non, on va se replier, hein. Moi, je vous ai dit, on va faire la fête. Le truc qui nous a été dit, ça va être très bien.
When you enter the pretty little village with its richly ornate houses and its temple to Palandial at its center, you can see an angry mob some distance away.
Lapidez-la,
The villagers are
lapidez la
harassing the young woman,
femelle.
insulting her and pushing her to the ground.
D'accord, c'est le genre de village. Ah, excusez-moi. On va arrêter ça.
You push
Non,
your
mais dis
way
donc.
through the crowd of people
C'est comme ça que
and
vous traitez les
stand
femmes?
in the way of the villagers.
What's going on here?
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
A man
Quoi?
dressed in richly decorated vestments looks you up and down.
Palandir will be with you, dwarf. It is none of your
prêtre.
business, but this woman here is a thief. She and her henchmen have emptied the monastery's granary and were willing to abandon us to
D'accord,
our
mais
fate.
de là à la tuer,
That's a
remarque.
lie. We asked for help and these people turned us away. I came back to ask again.
Quelle preuve avez-vous que cette femme a commis un crime?
What evidence do you have against this
Dites-nous
woman?
les preuves.
We found the granary broken into. Almost a third of our grain
parce que
and a
j'appelle une preuve.
significant amount of supplies have gone. And all this just one day after she and her people were
Mec, c'est pas une preuve.
snooping around here.
C'est juste des suppositions. Ce n'est pas une preuve.
That isn't proof. It could simply be coincidence. Anyway, why would
Ça,
a thief
pourquoi?
come back to the scene of a crime?
The priest eyes you in silence, while some of the villagers make it clear
Ok,
that
les autres, sinon je vous
dwarves
coupe en
should keep
morceaux,
their
là je suis pas
noses
d'humeur.
out of their business.
Et toi la femme, qu'est-ce qui est... Dis-nous
The
ta version.
villagers grumble, but the priest gives the woman a chance to defend herself.
Ah bah laissez-la
My
s'exprimer
name
quand même.
is Tavia. I was forced to flee Tabayin with my family when the perished land began to spread. My husband,
Bon,
we had to leave
d'accord.
him behind.
The horror in the woman's eyes gives you a good idea as to what became of her husband.
No one accepted us in the north. There are too many refugees and everyone is scared. Queen Wei has offered land in Wayan to anyone who will work hard for it. But what should we grow if no one will sell us grain? We offered a fair price, but Father Malin...
She darts a scathing gaze at the priest.
He wanted
Ah oui, mais il vit des temps durs aussi
The
peut-être.
priest glances briefly at the angry villagers. Then he replies in a firm voice.
It was
Ça,
a hard winter.
c'est difficile.
And with the increasing frequency of orc attacks, we must think of ourselves.
C'est difficile comme décision, mais bon.
We cannot help everyone.
The bystanders mutter in agreement.
On va mener une enquête.
The accusations are serious, so let's get to the bottom of the matter.
On va découvrir ce qui s'est passé. Parce que ça me paraît suspect quand même.
No doubt that she
Non,
did
tu
it.
n'as aucune
The
preuve.
priest looks at
Tais-toi.
the villagers standing around him, the lust for blood written in their faces.
On the other hand,
Bon, ça va.
before we do something we can't undo.
Il est intelligent.
Dissatisfied murmuring grows, which the priest debates with mollifying gestures.
Search for your evidence. You there, lock this woman up in the guardhouse in the meantime.
The woman is taken into a squat building made of rough blocks of stone. The crowd slowly disbands.
Bon. On va rentrer dans l'entrepôt
You enter the village's large storehouse.
pour
The
voir
ground
comment c'est
floor of the
possible.
two-story building is full of turnips, with large barrels and clay pots on the floor and on high shelves.
D'accord.
Several villagers are carrying out stock-taking. They're being supervised by a weedy man who observes them with a grim expression and writes things on a wax tablet every now and then.
D'accord. On va monter les escaliers et aller au premier étage. C'est là où sont gardés les grains.
On top of one another on the first floor.
Ah oui, parce que oui, il fait plus chaud. C'est plus sec.
And judging by the omnipresent white dust, flour.
Est-ce que quelqu'un peut allumer le feu?
You look around for a portable source of light.
En espérant que ça
Anyone see
brûle
a
pas.
candle or a torch? I need a light.
I wouldn't recommend that.
The Magister Technicus has
Ouais,
followed
c'est
you
bien
into the storehouse.
ce que je pensais.
One spark could ignite the flower dust. We sometimes use the effect when we want
Ah,
to create
d'accord.
huge balls
Ah,
of fire
intéressant.
on the stage.
Donc la poussière de farine peut
I
en
think
faire.
we could do without huge balls of fire.
Oui, on va se passer de l'explosion pyrotechnique.
You
on
walk
va
towards
respecter
the
l'endroit
only
sombre.
area in the storeroom where you can see the floorboards. You hesitate as your boots slip on the floor, as if you're walking on mud.
Ouais.
Tongue deal.
The Magister Technicus carefully observes the roof beams above the empty corner. He grabs at a beam and
C'est pourri.
crumbles something between his fingers. You can't make out what it is, so you copy him and feel damp,
Ah oui.
rotten wood. It's very easy to pull away small pieces.
Ça pourrit.
What are you doing here?
C'est-à-dire que
The
c'était
man with the
humide.
wax tablet is standing
Donc
on
le
the
grain,
stairs.
il est
He
foutu.
sounds half
Non?
angry, half shocked.
No one is allowed in here.
Vous êtes conscient que la toiture fuit.
The rain has gotten here. The roof and the floor
Ça
are down.
nique totalement le grain.
No savages. It wasn't enough that they steal from us. They had to damage the roof too. That was probably where they
Ils
got
sont
in.
entrés par des fuites.
The wood didn't start to rot yesterday, good man.
Oui, c'est ça, en
The
plus ça va.
steward's face turns bright red.
And you are the
oui.
experts on such things, are you?
Assuming the roof here has been leaky for a long time, what would have happened to the
Bah oui,
grain
il
in the
aurait
sacks
pourri.
directly underneath?
Tout ce qui est grain supporte pas
Wouldn't it have
l'humidité.
turned rotten?
The man wets his lips. His gaze darts around the room.
The roof was fine. I'll have it repaired.
Il m'a l'air suspect
And
lui.
now, get out of here.
The steward angrily blocks off all further attempts at talking to him, and even when you threaten him with Father Malin, it doesn't have the desired
Oh
effect.
merde.
The father trusts in him,
Peut-être
he
qu'il est dans le
says,
coup en plus,
and
super
he's
malade.
always been a devout follower. The heavy door of the storehouse closes behind you, and you hear a bolt sliding into place from the inside.
On va rentrer dans le poste de garde. Parce que le
You
Permanent
enter
il
the
m'a l'air d'être dans le coup.
guardhouse, and before the guards know, Boindale and Boandal have caught them up in a friendly conversation.
Ah bah
Shielded from the
d'accord,
view of
on
the
peut pas la
guards,
suspecte.
you exchange a few words with the suspect without being disturbed.
Où sont les vôtres et où est le butin si c'est vous qui avez fait
Where
ça?
have you taken the grain and supplies?
I don't know anything about grain or supplies. Apart from the fact that we could do with both, I'm telling you, I am innocent.
Pourquoi vous êtes
Why
revenu au
did you come
village?
back to the village?
I wanted to negotiate with Father Malin for the grain. What else could I do? No sooner had I arrived than they surrounded me and accused me of robbery.
Ah, vas-y, dis-moi ce qui s'est
We
passé.
won't let anyone do anything to you, but if we are going to
Dites-nous la
help you,
vérité.
you will have to tell us the truth.
The woman looks you in the face, then her head sinks, and when she looks back up, she has tears in her eyes.
Please, I just want to go back to my family.
Oh,
I don't know what happened.
Tungdil.
You feel
Quoi, qu'est-ce qu'il y
sympathy
a?
towards the woman. You raise your hand to silence Rodario and nod to the woman to continue talking.
We asked for grain and were full of hope when we saw the well-filled
quoi, qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
granary.
Non mais attends, Rodario, il
We
y a
had
quelque chose à dire.
reckoned on the malice of the people here.
Oui,
A
la vie est
slow,
triste.
ironic clap sounds from behind you. Confused, you turn around to face Rodario.
Bravo, my dear, with tears and everything.
Non.
Tough luck that
Elle est
a
comédienne.
master of the art of acting
C'est
is
une comédienne
present.
qui... Enfin, elle se joue de
None
nous.
of what she
Non.
said corresponds with the truth, Tungdil. She is lying and trying to deceive us. Not completely talentless.
Ah,
for
non, c'est pas vrai.
amateur.
You expect the woman to deny everything, but when she overcomes her amazement,
Oh la vache, la
she spits in the
saloperie.
actor's face.
Oh, je me suis fait avoir.
And what if I am? I would do it all again. The people here have more than they need and my people are starving. Is that fair?
Ah, pourquoi est-ce que... Déjà, pourquoi vous êtes revenu si vous avez
Why
eu le
did
grain
you
et les
come back here
provisions?
after stealing the grain and
C'est quand même
supplies?
con.
We didn't steal them. We paid for them. A reasonable price, just not to Father Malin.
You had help.
He promised us 3 dozen sacks of grain. When we opened the sacks in our hideout, we realized that most of the
Oh,
grain
le
was rotten.
salaud.
He thought he'd get away with it.
The woman looks around wearily.
And by the looks of things, he has.
La saloperie. Je crois savoir qui était votre
Morris the
complice.
steward offered you the grain, didn't he?
What does that matter? I've no proof it was him. And even if I did, if I admit that we have the stuff, I'll be hanging from a tree by this evening and my children
Oh,
will
les salauds.
starve. I beg you, let me go. We bought the grain and the supplies. Perhaps he wasn't allowed to sell it to us. But we paid. And with a little seed we can sow, at least some of us have a chance of surviving the year.
Ouais, vous devriez partir. Au pire, je vous fais libérer.
I don't want you to be hanged just because you tried to support your family. Go.
You open the door. The guards
En plus, c'est
jump
même pas
up,
du vol.
take up their swords, and let their hands sink down again when they feel the axes of the dwarves against their throats. The woman lays a hand on your shoulder for a moment as a sign of gratitude before she runs from the guardhouse.
I hope you know what you're doing, scholar.
Rodario's furrowed brow does not give you the feeling you've made an undisputed decision.
Par contre, Namora, tu vas suivre et tu vas découvrir où est-ce qu'ils sont.
Namora, find out where she's heading and then rejoin us.
Fergus wants to raise an objection, but before he can think of the right words, Namora has kissed him on the
Oh.
mouth and has disappeared round the next corner. You leave the guardhouse and explain your plan to Father Malin. You expect him to object, but he seems to be satisfied. You assume he'll make you responsible for everything if something goes wrong, and will claim a piece for himself.
Non,
if
je
you
veux
are
juste voir s'ils s'en
successful.
sortent et trouver un moyen, puisque... Enfin bref. Du coup, on va s'arrêter là. On va s'arrêter là et vous saurez la suite de l'enquête dans le prochain épisode. Donc je vous dis salut tout le monde et à la prochaine.